Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I've got quite a bit to get through this week, starting with a classic movie that I watched yesterday, going back to 1971, directed by Hal Ashby. It's what you would class as a cult classic. This has got cult written all over it. I've loved this film since the first time I saw it many years ago. I bumped into it by accident one Christmas on TV and absolutely fell in love with it within the first few minutes. Talking about this one, Harold and Maude. It's a difficult film to describe. It is a black comedy. Basically, it concerns a young guy aged about 19 or 20 who is obsessed with death, dying, and faking his own suicides or staging his own suicides. Within the first 15 minutes, you'll see him hanging from the roof. You'll see him floating face down in the pool. You'll see him covered in blood in the bath. Doesn't sound like a comedy, does it? But I promise you it is. The funniest bit is his mother's reactions when she walks in and sees these things. It's like, Harold, not again. So, and basically he meets an 80-year-old lady played by Ruth Gordon, who is absolutely superb in this. He meets her at a funeral. They both have or share a hobby, which is going to other people's funerals, people that they don't know. They bump into each other, strike up a conversation, become firm friends. Maude is exactly the opposite to Harold. She's, as I say, she's 80 years old. She embraces life, grabs it by the throat and just lives it. Harold is the total opposite. They meet, become firm friends and slowly fall in love. It is a superb film. I can't praise this one highly enough. As I say, I saw it many years ago and loved it. It doesn't, as I say, sound like the subject of a comedy, but it's got some real laugh out loud moments. And I talked about earworms last week, and this one's got quite a few. It's got a soundtrack by Cat Stevens. And two or three of the tracks, especially one of them, I've still got it rattling about in my head now. I think it's called If You Want to Be Free. Lovely tune. And there's another one called I Think I Can See the Light, which is, I can't get that one out of my damn head either. But the soundtrack fits the movie perfectly. As I say, dark black comedy. Just superb. If you get the chance to watch it, if you haven't already seen it, I would highly recommend it. It's an old film. It's 1971, but worth every minute of your time. The version I've got is the Masters of Cinema Blu-ray, and in with that you get this handy little booklet. And we all know how crap I am at doing this, but I'll try and flick through it very quickly, which is just photographs, articles on the movie. Press stills, that kind of thing. Must have a read of that. The only thing it doesn't have is a copy of the soundtrack, which is damn near impossible to get hold of. It used to be available on vinyl, but that's been long deleted and as rare as anything. I've tried to find it on CD and it's not available, so I may have to get hold of it via YouTube or something like that, because I would love that soundtrack. But yeah, that's Harold and Maude. If you get the chance to watch it, please do. It is an excellent little film. A real warm-hearted, smile type of comedy with a real dark streak running right the way through it. Excellent. 10 out of 10, without a doubt. What have I been buying this week? I'm afraid my Amazon spending has gone through the roof this week. Starting with this one. This is a box set of French movies. I think I mentioned last week that I love French movies, especially older ones, and especially ones set in Paris. This is a 4-disc set, Francois Truffaut directed movies, starting off with The 400 Blows, which is one of my favourite ever French movies, featuring this kid growing up in the centre of Paris. And what I didn't realise when I first saw that movie years ago is that he followed it up with 3 or 4 more movies featuring the same character, played by the same actor, basically charting his life through separate years. So I saw this and had to grab it because, as I say, I've seen the 400 Blows, which I think is in French it's Le Quatre Cents Coups, something like that. Um, but the other 3 or 4 movies are on here as well. You've got Antoine and Colette, Stolen Kisses, Bed and Board, Love on the Run. So it goes right from 1959 to 1979. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. What else have I had? Lifeforce. It's basically Quatermass on steroids. It is a British sci-fi movie from 1980. Is it 1980 it comes from? Can't remember, and it doesn't say. But it's early 80s, I'm sure it is. Well worth a watch. Is this Arrow Video? Yes, it is. So it's got an absolute wealth of extras on there. You've got documentaries. You've got a 70-minute documentary on the making of it. I saw this many years ago and loved it, but I've not seen it for quite a while. And I saw this on Amazon for £7.99. And when you see Blu-rays for £7.99, £8, you've got to have them. So that's one of them. The other one, you may have seen this years ago, Class of 1984. Extremely violent. Basically, it's like To Sir with Love on crack. It's mad. As I say, it is as violent as hell. I really, really want to do a video on this, but I need to watch it again first. All I remember is the last 15 minutes is just horrific. Just as a footnote, there was a commercial on this week on TV, and there was a song playing in the background. I don't know what it was advertising, but it was a video. It was an advert that was concerning a baby, and it took me a minute to figure out that the track that was playing in the background is the theme music to this. So you basically got this baby lying on its back, gurgling away, with this theme tune to one of the most violent movies ever made playing in the background. God knows what it was advertising, but it caught me out of it. What else have I had? Just got a couple of books here. The Hidden Cinema. I love the work of the BBFC. I find it fascinating. I love reading about the movies that they have to watch, what they find objectionable, what they cut, what they don't cut. And this, I think, concentrates on British cinema. So I'm really looking forward to reading that, to finding out what they've cut out of certain films or etc. Another book I got, the movie book. Now this is a history of movies right from the early silent films. And it charts the history one movie at a time. I will try to flick through this, but this is going to be hopeless. See what I mean? You can't really tell what's in there, can you? But it charts the history of cinema one film at a time. I also bought that on audiobook from Audible, so I can listen to it and actually read it at the same time, so that'll be handy. And the rest of the things, it's mostly magazines I've had through. The latest issue of Film Hounds, which has got an article on Ben Wheatley. I mentioned Ben Wheatley last week, didn't I? Got a bit of a love-hate relationship with his films. They're pretty violent and quite vile, a lot of them. But that one, In the Earth, sounds interesting. I've just got to work up the nerve to actually put it on and watch it. I've had the latest issue of Scream magazine, which obviously concentrates on horror movies, so that'll be good for a read. The latest Empire, which isn't even out of the bag yet, and the latest issue of Sight and Sound, which is the BFI's magazine, which I'm looking forward to getting. Now, the big news this week in the film world was Richard Donner sadly passing away, aged 91. The guy made so many movies. I'll show you the ones that I've got, and I need to get through these again. The Goonies, which obviously I'm going to do a whole thing on very, very shortly. I mentioned that last week. He also directed the first of the Superman movies, the original Omen, and he made so many more. Now I've got a list here, but I'm going to have to look away from the screen, so do forgive me because my memory is terrible nowadays. You've got The Toy, which was, I believe, Richard Pryor. That was about 1982. You've got Lady Hawk, which is a sort of a fantasy adventure starring Rutger Hauer and Matthew Broderick. The Lethal Weapon series, which I haven't got, and I really must grab a Blu-ray box set of those if they're still available. Scrooged, Bill Murray, which was a take on A Christmas Carol. Maverick, Mel Gibson, based on the TV series, the Western TV series. Assassins, which I think was Sylvester Stallone and Antonio Banderas, if I remember correct. So he's got quite a list of films there. And I would love to work my way through all of those. I haven't seen The Toy for years. I think I saw it a long time back. Inside Moves was another one. I think that was Gene Hackman, if I remember right. That was early 80s as well. But yeah, it'd be great to try and work my way through a series of Richard Donner movies, definitely. I think that's pretty much it for this week. I think I've bored you for long enough. I'll be back again next week. I'm going to be watching. I've either got a choice of The Goonies or Capricorn One, and I want to do something special with The Goonies, which might take a week or two. So I might take the easy way out and do Capricorn One next week, so I can concentrate on doing a proper video and a proper review for the website. Which obviously I'll post on Facebook. So I'll be popping a review of Harold and Maude on the website sometime over the next day or two, and I'll pop a link on to that on the Facebook page, on the chit chat page. Right, that's it, folks, for today. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe. And as I say, when the review for the Harold and Maude goes up on the website, if you wouldn't mind popping over and just dropping a few comments on there, I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to flesh the website out a bit, and if I can pop on sort of one review a week, then hopefully the amount of visitors it's getting, I was quite surprised. I think the first time I looked, not long after I'd built it, I think I've got something like 17 visitors. There's over 10,000 now, so that's really good. So people are visiting the site and reading what I'm writing. So yeah, I'm really pleased about that. I just need to get the style of writing honed a bit. It's not quite how I want it. It's very me, but it's not quite how I want it to sound. But I can work on that. So right, folks, I'll leave it at that. Enjoy your Sunday. And as I say, I'll be back about the same time next week with a little review of Capricorn 1. And also, one last question. One of the guys that I follow on YouTube who does the same sort of thing, Ross the Film Critic, he had a little tagline that he used to put on the end of every video. I can't remember what it is without looking. It was something like "Films are for you, films are for life," or something like that. And I've been trying to think of something that I can tag onto the end of these videos that is a similar sort of thing. So if anybody's got any ideas on that, just drop me a message, or put something on chit chat or something like that. It's probably a crap idea, I don't know, but it's just something it'd be handy to tag onto the end instead of goodbye, see you next week. So have a think on that. And if there are any movies that you would like me to take a look at, movies that you love that maybe I haven't seen, and we all know the length of the list of the movies that I haven't seen, so it shouldn't be that difficult. If you can think of any that you want me to take a look at and maybe have an attitude to everybody about, just drop me a message and I'll see if I can fit it into the busy schedule. Right, have a brilliant week, folks. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you again next week. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.